Have you ever been stuck trying to untangle a mess of code so complex that it feels like it was written to confuse you on purpose? The kind of code that makes you wonder if the original author was playing a cruel joke? I've been there, and let me tell you, it's not pretty. Complexity doesn't just waste your time, it drains your team's energy, it erodes trust, and it can even derail entire projects. But simplicity? Simplicity is the antidote. Today, we're diving into the virtue of simplicity, a guiding principle that transforms not just your code, but your projects, your team's morale, and ultimately your career. So let's dive in. Hello world, I'm David Scott Bernstein and welcome to The Passionate Programmer. In this series, we're exploring the hierarchy of software concepts to help you build systems that are not just functional, but scalable and resilient. And today, we're focused on the virtue of simplicity. Simplicity isn't just a buzzword or an afterthought. It's the cornerstone of great software. By the end of this video, you'll know why simplicity matters, how to recognize it, and how to bring it into your work, giving you the tools to make your code clean, adaptable, and even enjoyable to work with. Simplicity is often misunderstood. Some people think it's just about writing less code or making things easier. But true simplicity is about clarity, removing unnecessary complexity while keeping everything that's essential. It's about making things understandable for anyone, regardless of their experience level. Simple is objective. It's about universal clarity. Easy, on the other hand, is subjective. It depends upon your familiarity with the problem or the tool. What's easy for one developer might be really hard for another. Simplicity bridges the gap and creates code that anyone can understand. Think about a tangled rope. Simplicity isn't just about cutting corners or ignoring the knot. It's about taking the time to untangle it so the rope is clear and usable. Imagine two bridges, one that's over-engineered with unnecessary supports and components, and another that is elegant and streamlined. Both can hold weight, but only the simple design adapts gracefully to changes. Why does simplicity matter? Complexity isn't just a headache, it's a ticking time bomb. It leads to bugs, it skyrockets costs, and it makes adapting to change almost impossible. On the flip side, simplicity protects your code and your team. Every conditional doubles the potential paths through code. One if statement, you have two paths. Add three more, and now you're juggling 8 paths. Complexity grows exponentially, and with it, the chances for errors and oversights. Dijkstra said, simplicity is the prerequisite for reliability. I think he said that because complex systems fail because they have too many moving parts. Simple systems, on the other hand, are inherently more reliable. Early in my career, I was assigned to a project that had a complete mess for a code base. One method was 200 lines long and managed everything from database queries to UI formatting. Debugging it was a nightmare. By refactoring it into smaller focused methods, we reduced bugs and made the code easier to understand. This turned the dreaded task into something that was more manageable. That's the power of simplicity. Breaking logic into helper functions reduces complexity, improves readability, and makes testing a breeze. That's simplicity in action. Let's look at an example real quick. Here's the before, and the process order method has multiple responsibilities. It has to deal with evaluating if the invoice was paid. It has to deal with notifying and issuing payment. It has to deal with logging orders. It has to deal with a bunch of stuff. When we extract these different behaviors into different methods, it makes it easier to reason about, easier to validate, and easier to work with in the future. Breaking logic into helper functions reduces complexity. It improves readability and makes testing a breeze. That's simplicity in action. How do you know if your code is simple? It's simple. Simplicity has three key traits. It has a singular purpose, it's modular, and it's composable. Let's break these down. A simple module does one thing, and it does it well. For example, a logging class should handle logging and not file management or configuration. Simple systems are built from small, reusable components that can be easily swapped out or combined in new ways. Simple systems combine small parts to achieve complex goals without creating tangled dependencies. A car is made up of simple, focused components like engines, wheels, seats, and together they form something powerful and functional. Now that we know what simplicity looks like, how do we achieve it in code? Here are 3 practical tools and practices to simplify your development process. Hide the details that don't matter to your callers and only expose what's necessary. For example, a bank account class should expose deposits and withdrawal methods, but hide the internal calculations. Start simple and then build it as needed. Kent Beck said it best. He says, do the simplest thing that could possibly work. And when we strive for simplicity, we're not only trying to save time, we're trying to save ourselves the complexity of unraveling things in the future. Simplicity isn't just a nice to have, it's the foundation of all great software. Without it, every principle or practice will struggle under the weight of complexity. Simplicity reduces risks and costs. It enables agility, and it strengthens all the other virtues and qualities. I once consulted on a project that was having constantly missed deadlines. Complexity was the main culprit. Stripping the system down to its essentials didn't just fix the code, it restored trust and confidence within the team. If you found this video valuable, hit the like and subscribe. Let's continue to build smarter software together. Next, we dive into the virtue that ensures your software thrives in the face of change: extensibility. This virtue assures that your software is valuable today and in the future. Don't miss it. If that video isn't up yet, then hit the subscribe and bell icon to be notified when it comes out. Until then, happy coding.